O.W. Curley, 50 plus acres of land, economic helping hand to the black woman and man to possess their own land.
The thing most people don't know is O.W. Gurley was from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. He grew up in Pine Bluff, he worked for the post office in Pine Bluff, and he worked as a teacher in Pine Bluff before moving to Oklahoma. Now, previously I had stated that Pine Bluff was the original Black Wall Street, so now let me break it on down with receipts.
Wiley Jones was a former African-American slave who went into Arkansas. He stacked his money up and he became a railroad owner. He owned a railroad.
All right, I'm in the middle of downtown Pine Bluff on Main Street. See the tracks? You see where that sign is down at the end of the street? That'd be where Wiley Jones Park was.
So the park was 55 acres and it had a half-mile track, stables for the horses, a baseball diamond, an amusement park, and the Colored People's Fairgrounds were all housed in Wiley Jones Park. So Wiley Jones Park was a focal point of the black community in Pine Bluff.
Okay, and now I'm at Main Street in Hardin, right up the street from where I was previously, that down there. And you can see this would probably be the entrance to Wiley Jones Park right here, right by the Sunbeam Girl. She ain't swinging, she used to swing. But I'm gonna say that's probably why the street end kind of funny right here. Like, all right, you gotta go one way or another. Right, that was probably for a train. That wasn't for cars, because cars wasn't invented. Like, they was invented, but you know what I'm saying. People didn't have cars at that point. Okay, we are at East 21st now, but it's 19th in Tennessee. And Tennessee is the next street after Georgia, and we are on Georgia. And so, yeah, let's go down one street. So, actually, this is not called 20th, but this is called Talbot. Okay, so in actuality, in real life, there is not a 19th in Tennessee, but we'll go to where 19th in Tennessee should be. We'll go to where it should be if there was a such place. Oh, this street do go in a circle. So this is probably the racetrack right here. Okay, 19th in Tennessee, the next corner right there. But we'll go on circling around. So I'm going to make the strong assumption this street go around in a circle because this street was the track. Right. So Wiley Jones Park is not right. It's not a park, and it's a whole neighborhood. And I would say now we are, if 19th in Tennessee was a street, this would be 19th and Tennessee Street. Yeah. But actually it's Park Street. See? At least they named it Park Street to let you know, kind of, sort of. So yeah, this kind of sounds like everything lost right about now, but no. Actually, it's two of them. Bell Park, which was later changed to Forest Park, owned by the Citizens Light Company. Now, I've still ran into some contradictory information. The thing is, I have figured out why there's contradictory information. The problem is, in 1942, the Army/Air Force created Grider Field. And Grider Field was supposedly 5 miles outside of the Pine Bluff city limits. Supposedly. But see, here's the thing. The Pine Bluff city limits stopped at 17th Street, so 31st Street, where Bell Park was not in the city limits to begin with. After World War II, it was given to the city of Pine Bluff, which, how did you just give a whole, like, right, this pretty much sounds like y'all stole that. Yeah. Y'all stole a whole bunch of land. And then here's the other thing. When Grotter Field was created, they, the Air Force, Army, they bulldozed all the streets and everything, supposedly. So here's the thing. The original streets and the original plats to that area of town is non-existent. So yeah, that's why, I can find things on the 1909 map, 1890s map that you cannot find, like, after World War II. And that's the reasoning. Okay. Now, I do have some more information to, give you all, but I'm going to wait a little bit on that because a lot of this information I found just since I've started editing this video. So, yeah, I'm going to make sure I got all the facts straight before I give you all the information. But I have made a declaration about the Wiley Jones Historic District, and the Wiley Jones Historic District is really important because the city stopped at Hardin Street, so everything south of Hardin Street was not in the city limits. And what happened with World War II and Grotter Field displaced the whole community, and probably can't nobody tell you what happened to them people. Can't like if they can't tell you what was on the land, they ain't gonna tell you what happened to them folks either, are they? Right, that's strange. But these people do deserve something better than what they got. And, you kind of wonder why, there's not, a lot about Wiley Jones. Why? Because, the United States government pretty much took all this infrastructure and used it during World War II. Okay. But anywho, like I said, I got some more information for you all. And just another hint on what's to come. And I'm going to fully research this before I just put it all the way out there. I'm still going to consider that area the Wiley Jones Historic District. But infrastructure does go further, it does go further west, and it goes further north. So we're gonna find some kind of way to include that in the, include that in the plan.